Previously on the last Pokémon Crystal challenge run, and I think the sheep takes priority over some evil dog nappers. And coming up, you absolute scumbag. Welcome back to 4 Moves. This is a series where we grab a Pokemon, we give it any 4 moves that it can learn in Generation 2, and then we see just how long it takes us to defeat Pokémon Crystal. Sometimes it's a bit of an endeavour, and other times, I think like today, we'll have a fairly smooth ride of it. Today we're going to be running SNORLAX. This is our third of the 3 Pokemon that we're running together as a group. We started with Sudowoodo, we went on to Gyarados, and today is SNORLAX, and hopefully with today's challenge you'll be able to figure out why we're running those 3 Pokemon together. Now, Snorlax's learn set is absolutely massive. There's 1,000,001 different ways you can play the Snorlax challenge. So now I've got to go off and think about exactly which 4 moves I think are going to be best to get through Pokemon Crystal in the quickest possible time. And I tell you what, why don't you let me know, before I've picked the moves, what 4 you will pick. So it's been a little while, and I think I've come up with a learn set I am happy with. The first move we are going to be getting is going to be Earthquake. I think this one's fairly obvious. It's a huge base power move for the beginning of the challenge, even if we can't hit Falkner's Pokemon with it. We're going to go for Belly Drum in slots number 3. That will allow us to maximise our attack stat as and when we need it. In slot number 4, we're actually going to be going for Surf. That's going to give us an answer to the rock ground types, as well as giving us an answer to Jasmine Steelix, which goes on the special defense stat as opposed to the physical defense stat. And then in slot number 1, we're going to go for Body Slam. It's a very, very strong move. It's not quite as strong as Return, but I think it will give us more flexibility throughout the start of this challenge. So we're going in with 32 HP at level 5, holding the berry with Body Slam, Earthquake, Belly Drum and Surf. We've got 17 in attack, 13 in defense and special attack, 17 in special defense, but just 9 in speed. And now, very quickly before we start the challenge, this just goes to show just how many ways there are to play Snorlax. I've changed my mind. I don't think we're going to need Surf. We can Belly Drum against any opponents where we would have used Surf, and I'm going to plonk Return in its place instead. I think that way we might have a slightly easier lance. So the updated learn set is Body Slam, Earthquake, Belly Drum and Return. With that, we shall get our challenge underway. I don't know how fast or slow this challenge is going to be. A lot of it is going to depend on the Quick Claw luck. If we get a lot of Quick Claw procs, then we're in for a good time. If we don't get so many, then we could end up being slowed down by a few minutes. Because Snorlax is strong in a lot of areas, but it is not a fast Pokemon. We've also got the slow growth rate to contend with in this one, but I'm hoping that won't be too much of an issue. We compensate with our lack of speed with a massive HP, massive attack, and a massive special defense. Our physical defense and special attack are also perfectly cromulent, although we don't really need to focus on the calcium at all in this particular challenge. We need to focus maybe a little bit on the carbos, and definitely a lot on the protein. We want to be making the most of our physical attack and trying to get it up as high as we possibly can. Getting quite a few encounters actually on the way back to Cherry Grove City here. That could prove to be a little bit of a time loss, but such is the nature of the start of the challenge, where we don't have access to any repels yet. The rivals got Totodile, could have any of the Pokemon, and to be fair, it'd be a pretty similar outcome. We do grow to level 6 courtesy of the Totodile, and you may notice we've had to go for our small split overlay on this particular challenge because we've got so many moves. I wasn't able to fit them all and the full splits on the left hand side. That does mean we are missing our Pokemon type box, but I think you all know Snorlax is mono normal type, so that is what we are running with. And of course the normal type is very, very, very effective in Generation 2. I would say Generation 2 is probably the pinnacle of where the normal type was overpowered, in a large part due to moves like Headbutt being available very early on. It was the first generation with Return, of course, as well. And you don't see that many Pokemon that resist the normal type throughout the course of this challenge, so we're able to deal neutral stab to an awful lot of opponents, an awful lot more than we would be able to with most other typings. We don't really have that many drawbacks, because I think Chuck's going to be a breeze. Can't see Jasmine causing any issues. And then, who else have we got who could prove to be a little bit problematic? Maybe Blue's Rhydon. And there is a universe where Brock's Pokemon do cause us some grief as well, but we'll have to see how we go. Now, this is the first challenge I am recording since I made that community post about my graphics card setup being a little bit dodgy. I've given it a couple of days, tried implementing a couple of fixes, and touch wood, everything seems to be relatively a-okay at the moment, but you never know. I'm hoping to still get this video out on time. For a little bit of context, it's currently about 3 o'clock in the morning, the day the video is due out. So we will have to see if this comes out on the Wednesday as normal, or if I have to put it out on the Thursday instead. All depends on how well the edit goes, how well the challenge goes, how well my brain goes, as well as the graphics card, to be fair, because it can be a little bit mentally taxing when you've got other issues going on that are distracting you from the challenge at hand. But the challenge at hand at the moment is Falconer, first gym leader together, flying type specialist led with Pidgey that we just deleted from the face of the planet, and we'll do the same to the Pidgeotto. A critical hit doesn't matter. We get through in 2 shots, and 3 minutes and 41 seconds is our Falconer split. We get Mudslap, we'll send that for some cash money moolah a little bit later on, and now we'll head over to Violet City. Do a quick cursory heal, we'll need the power points for going through the cave. We'll get the key escape rope, and we'll get ourselves out of here. Let us get this Purr's Cure Berry. I reckon Purr's Cure Berries might come in useful throughout the course of this challenge. It all depends on how lucky we get with our speed and how much we can try and outspeed opponents. I'm going to be focusing on speed first, then on to attack second, because there are quite a few Pokemon, I reckon, where if we have a couple of Carbos in us, we could end up getting the outspeed, so it's probably worth focusing on that first, just so that we can try and get a little bit quicker times than we otherwise would if we didn't have them. We're not going to be needing to face too many optional trainers on this challenge. Even though we're in the slow, our huge attack more than compensates for it. However, I do think it's a good idea to take on these hikers. They're fairly good experience, and to be honest, it's kind of difficult to dodge them anyway, even when they are just spinners. So we can take on both Daniel and hiker Russell as well. Russell should be fairly simple. We'll use Body Slam on his low-level Geodude and swap to Earthquake. For his higher-leveled ones, we should get to about 11.5, courtesy of Russell here. And then, you know what, we'll take on the first Fire Breather as well. Fire Breather Bill. He is just a Body Slam to unlock his experience points. And we'll move on at level 12. So yeah, I think the routing on this one, get a few early levels in, and then just try and coast as much as we can. We can, of course, raise our attack at will as much as we want with Belly Drum. We've just got to be careful about it. Blummin' heck, Anthony. It's been a while since I've been caught by Anthony, but I must have got the wrong cycle there. In the Pokemon today, we'll just pick up some Repels, pick up a couple of Super Potions as well. We will then get blocked by the old man and the young man as well. Goodness me, the NPCs are against this Snorlax. They clearly want another roadblock in their way, and you never know, we might have to oblige. If they keep getting in our way, another quick PP heal. And in to Slowpoke well we go. Now, the only trainer I'm really worried about in this particular challenge is Lance. Mostly because of Thunder Wave on his Dragonite. I'm not confident of outspeeding. There's a high chance we outspeed, but it's definitely not guaranteed. And if we don't outspeed, we'll undoubtedly take a reset. We are going to be working with our speed working against us this entire time as well. We are going to be taking the first hit a lot of times. However, it shouldn't matter too much because of our oodles of HP. We're already at nearly 70 HP, and we're not even at Gym 2 yet. That shows just how much health our Snorlax has behind us. We don't necessarily need to heal that often in this challenge. 2 hits from Body Slam gets rid of the coughing. It wouldn't have been a one-shot with Earthquake, I don't think, so there was no sense in swapping moves there. But with that, we can make our way in to gym number 2. And I reckon, we're going to have a good time in here. A lot of the bug Pokemon are fairly slow, so we can get the first hit on. We'll do full trainers as always here in the second gym. It's really only if we're running a weak Psychic type or a weak Pure Grass type that we will be running not full trainers in the gym. All the rest of the time, we'll absolutely do them all. They're free experience for just a couple of seconds per battle. Can we one-shot Benny's Beedrill? Yes, we can. Blooming brilliant so far from this Snorlax. Don't think Josh is going to have a good day of it either. We will body slam his Paras. It goes down in 1. And with that, we're on to Bugsy, second gym leader. Bug-type specialist. Leads with Metapod. If we one-shot the Metapod, we're going to one-shot the Kakuna, no doubt about that. Growing to 16 as the Scyther comes out, probably going to be a 2-shot. We paralyze, so we get the first hit on turn number 2. And we defeat Bugsy to obtain the Hive Badge. Very, very good stuff. That's what we like to see. Now, we could take a heal, but instead, we're going to go straight in to rival number 2. He is going to lead with his Ghastly. We will use an Earthquake as Hypnosis misses. And then we're on to Zubat. Zubat doesn't flinch with Bite, so we can one-shot it. And then it should just be 2 hits with the Body Slam to eliminate the Croconaw. And we get through very easily. That means we can go into the forest. We're going to plonk on our Repel. We'll also move them up to the tippy-top spot of the bag. And we don't need to worry about any kind of careful movement here in the forest today. So we can mess up just like that. That wasn't intentional. That was just me being bad. But because we're not teaching the HM, our Repel steps being perfectly in sync don't really matter. Now, I can only apologise if you hear my tummy going off today. In a bit of a flare-up with the old Crohn's at the moment. So there are going to be a couple of times where I maybe hiccup, or you can hear it growling. But don't worry, I'm not in too much pain. We are going to use an early Ether, actually, on Body Slam to save a heal, because I do want to take on Gina. Gina's a very good fight. She's got a lot of experience points locked in her battle for a very, very easy set of Pokemon. To be fair, we could probably use Return, and they would have gone down without a fight. We'll skip Kanto. We'll just make our home there in the Pokemon Center. We won't bother to heal quite yet. We don't need to. However, we will go and procure ourselves one of the finest bicycles from the Goldenrod shop, and if we actually select it, then we can move in double quick time. Into the underground we go, where we've got even more trainers waiting for us. We'll use Body Slam against Slowpoke, growing up to 18 here. And another Body Slam for another Slowpoke. We'll take on Teru as well. Teru is a very easy battle for us, considering we have Earthquake. We'll save our Body Slams for the trip up north. Screech means absolutely nothing. Not a single one of these Pokemon is going to survive a single hit from our Snorlax, and also the Magnemite doesn't have a physical move, I don't think. We will get the coin case, and do we want to take on Mr. Lickitung Man? You know what? Let's take on Mr. Lickitung Man. Easy KO for a lot of experience. And now we'll get ourselves out of here. Before we go up north, we do need to go and grab ourselves the Rentalabra. That's going to let us teleport back to Goldenrod City as soon as we need to. And now we'll do our first of 2 trips north of Goldenrod. The backtracking isn't as egregious as it is in Generation 3, but it still does get on me blooming nerves having to go up twice. We'll do our usual set of trainers here. We're going to use Return on the Diglett. Growl is actually a little bit annoying, but Return is already powerful enough to one-shot all of these Pokemon. Look at that. Crit did next to nothing with Magnitude there. We'll take on Walt as well. Hope we don't get burnt. Hope we don't get poisoned either. A burn is probably slightly worse than a poison, but Walt can just have the worst day of his life. 2 misses, we will take that. No thank you, Erwin, not today. But yes, please, Miss Teacher Lady, please give us a quick claw. We are not even going to bother to wait until we menu next. We're going to stick it on straight away. That will give us a 23% chance to outspeed anything. Speed really does not mean too much at all now. Very annoying that the Abra flashed us, because we've missed our attacks. We're going to have to swap to Return and hope for the best here. Return will one-shot the Kadabra, if we can get it landing just like that. As a result of that, we'll skip Alan. We might take him on the second sweep. But for now, we'll get ourselves back to Goldenrod. Quick rental Abra, quick heal in the Pokemon Center. And then we can be on our merry way into gym number 3. And it's normal type specialist versus a normal type specialist in this gym. Just going to get through Carrie first. Can't see her proving to be any problem whatsoever. One body slam to the face of the Snubble, squishes its nose and knocks it out. And we'll be on to Whitney. Gym leader number 3, normal type specialist, led with Clefairy that went down. Miltank has missed. It's all over for her before it's begun. We grow to 21 and we just ruin Whitney's day, really. That means we get the plain badge in a time of 13 minutes and 17 seconds. And we can't really whinge at that. That was a really, really good gym fight. Let us chat with the eavesdropping so-and-so here. She'll give us a squirt bottle and we shall now actually do a very, very quick heal. In a Goldenrod Pokemon Center, we could probably get away with it. But you never know, we might end up getting caught by a couple of trainers. Hate Erwin with a passion. Genuinely one of my least favourite trainers to go past. Him and Super Nerd Tom over in Kanto are the worst. But a lot of them are annoying. There's Sudowoodo, Ghosts of Runs Past. Sudowoodo did fairly well, didn't it? If you've not seen that video. It's a couple of videos before this. We did Sudowoodo, then we did Gyarados, and now we are doing Snorlax. Please do let me know if you figured out my incredibly difficult cryptic puzzle as to why we're running those 3 together. It doesn't take a genius. It's not rocket surgery to figure out why we're running these 3 together. But I do like sneaking in these little groups of Pokemon that you wouldn't think of. Makes a change from like the Electabuzz, Jinx, Magmar, or the Fossils, or whoever we want to run as a group. We're actually going to be running the Fossils later this month. Looking forward to those. We're going to be primarily focusing on 4 moves this month as well. Not sure if I've mentioned that. But I'm really, really feeling the 4 moves at the moment, having a lot of fun with it. So I thought, why not try a little bit of 4 move action? It's slightly less pressure than Supermon, and with all the technical issues I've been having, I don't really want to burn out on Supermon by applying that extra mental pressure. But Supermon will be returning for a couple of videos this month, I'm absolutely sure of it. Now here in the Pokemon, we're going to get ourselves 12 of their finest Super Repels. We'll chat up the burly man here, get his phone number. You never know, he might be able to offer some favours later on. And we'll also make our base in Olivine Pokemon Centre so that we can get our TP spot. With that, we'll start climbing up the lighthouse. A little bit of lighthouse keeping that needs to be gone with. And there are plenty of trainers just champing at the bit, waiting to give us their experience points. Now, one of the reasons I chose Body Slam as our main attacking move is for the paralysis chance. The fact that we have that chance of quartering the opponent's speed means our speed stat, along with a Quick Claw, doesn't actually mean too much in the grand scheme of things. That is, of course, if the opponent survives at all, which it is very bloody unlikely to do so when we're running Stab Body Slam. Stab Body Slam at the moment, I think, with Whitney's badge boost and Falkner's normal type boost, would be about 142 base power. Don't quote me on that, though. You know me, I'm not good at maths under pressure. So I'm just hoping I got it vaguely in the right ballpark. It's definitely a very big number. That's all we really care about. It's enough to one-shot virtually anything with even respectable defense that's coming up in front of us. We'll grab that extra Super Repel, we'll have a little chat with this lady, see what she wants, break her ankles, and then, because we don't want to break any more ankles, we'll hobble out via the escape rope. Into the Pokemon Center we go, we'll do a cheeky little heal, and it's time to make our way all the way back to Ecruteak. Now this isn't a very long cycle at all, it's only about 7 seconds. and you've got to do it one way anyway. So you might as well try and make the most of reducing your overworld movement by going this way instead. Into the burnt town we go, and it's time for the third and middle rival battle already. Let's see, do your worst, rival. Leads with Haunter. It swears at us, we'll finish it off with Earthquake. Magnemite is next. Once again, we Earthquake it. It disappears. We will Body Slam the Zubat. Not sure if that was a Quick Claw proc or not. And the Croconaw is raging. That's your lot. That's all you're getting, rival. 79 HP is where we finish that battle. Falling through the floor, destroying our other uncle en route, releasing the beasts, and then we'll escape rope out of here because we're antisocial and we don't want to chat to you scene. Instead, we'll grab the HP up, and now we've got to make our way in to our next gym. This is the Ghost-type gym. It's going to be a boring set of trainers, so let's skip ahead to Morty. One very quick set of gym trainers later, and we are ready for Morty. Morty is gym leader number 4. He is a dual ghost and poison type spectacular leader. Leads with Ghastly. Now this one is going to be a bit about the luck, unfortunately. There's not much we can do. We're hoping for all of Hypnosis missing. That's really what we need, and that's what we get. So, I'm sorry to say, Morty, you had a terrible time of it. Genuinely horrible luck there for Morty. 19 minutes and 51 seconds for the Fog Badge. Well, that's a bit of a relief, isn't it? Getting through that particular gym battle unscathed. We can now move on to the Kimono Girls. That means we can go back to having Stab. We don't need to use a super effective move against the Flareon. It'll go down of its own accord. And now we can take on the rest of them. Yeah, Morty could have been a little bit terrifying. We could have potentially taken a reset there had the luck not gone our way. The best way to maximise our luck potential there was to hold on to the Mint Berry, because it is just under 50-50 for Morty hitting us with Hypnosis when you factor in the Gen 2 miss potential. So yeah, I think that was the right call. And also, doing the Kimono Girls after Morty guarantees one-shots on all of them, so we don't need to worry too much about them. The worst that could have happened is we got paralysed, but we do have a full heal for that. And we can get ourselves the raft. That means we can now cross bodies of water. We'll be doing that right about now, actually. We won't, though. The bike shop interrupts us, as is its prerogative. Let's stick on one of our repels. And now we'll start making our way towards the lake. We took on Miller, so we'll take on Ron as well. We'll just defeat every single potential Nidoking and Nidoqueen that comes up in front of us. I think we'll skip the Slowbro trainer and we'll go straight to the Gyarados. Another ghost of runs past here. That was our last challenge together. Had a very, very good time of it with our Gyarados as well. So if you did miss that one, it is the previous video. We'll chat with this dude. What does he want? Ugh, Mahogany, you can wait. We've got other business to be getting on with, and that other business is getting ourselves up to the other part of the Lake of Rage. We'll grab the full restore, and we'll grab ourselves the rare candy. I don't think I'm going to bother trying to get the other bits today. Don't think we'll need them. I think it's just going to waste a little bit of time. So with that, we will rent Labra all the way back to Olivine City. And we'll start crossing the open seas, because we've got another gym to contend with. This one is hopefully going to be fairly easy. We do have to get past Swimmer Kaylee there with her fish. We don't want to battle any fish today. Instead, we'll go into the Pokemon Center here. We'll do a quick heal. And we'll make our way in to the dodgy shop. We'll grab ourselves a secret potion. And with that, I'll take on the gym trainers. I still seem to be having some lag issues with the new graphics card. I'm hoping that some tweaks I've done will make it all work properly, but we'll have to see. We're going to belly drum against this Primeape, take the Fury Swipes, and then hope for the best against the Poliwrath. We're at 49 HP, Dynamic Punch misses, we get 3 in 1 hit. That is what we like to see, and that gives us a Storm Badge in 24 minutes and 27 seconds. Let's now have a little chat with Chuck's wife. We'll get ourselves the air balloon. That means that we can start flying and doing a little bit of the housekeeping. And in fact, why don't we get on with it straight away? We'll get the air balloon up to the very top spot and we'll start picking up some items. So yeah, ever since I swapped graphics cards, actually it happened a little bit before I swapped graphics cards when the old one was dying on me, I've been having all sorts of lag issues. Now, it hasn't mattered too much because I've been keeping an average check of the frame rate as I've been going along, and I've been resyncing the timer quite often in the challenges. You may not have noticed, but at the end of every challenge I do get a little report saying this is my average FPS, and I've been trying to keep the frame rate roughly in sync with where we should be for the time. The only one I didn't do that with is Scyther, and that's because the graphics card was behaving itself on that particular occasion. But it does seem to be semi-sorted now. I've had issues on and off with lag with RetroArch for quite some time. I'm a GameHook holdout, so I don't run any of the more efficient software, mostly because I really cannot face the idea of updating the overlay. It was a mammoth task to do, and the less amount of effort I can do, the better when it comes to that thing. And it feels like I've got a rocket propelling me now. This is what true 4x speed feels like. Goodness me. Feeling a little bit dizzy, actually, compared to what we've been at. I wonder if that's why my times have felt a lot lower, or a lot higher, I should say, and a lot slower than they actually have been. You never know, might have to do some retime runs at some point. Let's get the escape rope into a sensible position. And you know what? There's no harm in trying her. This is Jasmine. Gym leader number 6. Steel type specialist, leads with Magnemite. We outspeed Magnemite, that's all we really care about. So it's 2 one-shots to get us started. And now we'll belly drum against the Steelix. Iron Tail misses, Earthquake one-shots. And we get through Jasmine. First try, Mineral Badge in 26:51. That means it's time to head back to Mahogany Town. Unfortunately, there's only so much delaying we can do. I've now got to deal with all these bloody rockets. Not going to make you sit through them all. Let's skip ahead to the end. There we go, that's the rocket section all completed for another challenge. I'm never getting that time back. But it doesn't matter, we're through it now, and we can move on. Before we move on, I'm going to stick a PP up in Body Slam, and I'm also going to use another one of our ethers, and then we'll get the heck out of here and make our way straight away into the next gym. This is Chuck's, no it's not, it's Price's Ice-type gym. Held on to that mint berry because I had a feeling that Jinx was going to try and do that. And with that, we'll take on Price. He is our 7th gym leader together today. He is an Ice-type specialist, leads with Seal. Seal's a one-shot, probably going to be a 2-shot on the Dugong. Oh, the attack drop, that is harsh. The double attack drop. You absolute scumbag. You scam artist scumbag. We're going to have to use Belly Drum and hope that we can survive whatever Pile of Swine throws in front of us, which is nothing, because we outsped it. Glacier Badge acquired. I cannot believe you got the double attack drop, Price. You were almost a competent gym leader today. Still a little way to go until I can call you competent, but that was definitely a start. Let's do an unnecessary heal here in the Pokemon Center, and I'm going to leave in a huff now. Oh, let's hope that's the only Duff RNG we get throughout the course of this challenge. Was a little bit unhappy about having to consume the Mince Berry as well, but I'd made my peace with that, and then he goes and does that incredible bit of nonsense. We are now going to start picking up some items as we make our way through the ice path. The idea here is to get as many items as we can that are worth fairly good money in the department store to sell, because I'm going to do a vitamin shop when we get back to Goldenrod. I always do the vitamin shop off camera, because I very much and ah about what I want to put in, and there are some times where I make a decision, then decide to do something completely different, and it's just not a fun time trying to figure things out on camera. So it's one of those few times where it's going to be very, very rare that I show that particular bit on camera. Most of the challenge, I like to show on camera. In fact, far more than a lot of the challenge that I used to show. It used to be just the battles, really. But now I like taking you across the entire journey, because even if I'm not talking about what's going on, I think it's very interesting to see what is going on in the background and try and see those subconscious decisions that I make throughout the course of each challenge. Now, we're going to get ourselves 12 max repels. That's all our repels done for the rest of this challenge. We can pick up some more items on the way down here as well. Can get the nugget, can get that. No, we can't. And we will, however, get the PP up, and we'll get the extra Prescure Berry, just because I think they will be useful items. With that, it's time to get back to Goldenrod City, and that means it's time for the fourth and penultimate rival battle. Of course, we don't need to face those two trainers because we did them on our first sweep through of Goldenrod, so we can get straight into the battle. He leads with Golbat, thank goodness. We got the Quick Claw proc there. We'll use Earthquake on the Magnemite and make sure it goes down in one. We'll continue Earthquaking on the Haunter as it swears at us, which is a little bit annoying. And our Return is more powerful than Body Slam at this point of the challenge. We will use Body Slam in the hope that we paralyse just like that, though, so that we can get through a little bit quicker. There we go, triple question mark is defeated for yet another challenge, and that was a really, really nice rival 4, considering we got sworn at. We have more than enough HP now to get us through right until the end of the rockets, which is where we're heading now. I tell you what, not having as much lag as I used to has made me feel like I need to practice my movement again, but we have made it to the very top of the radio tower. We've got just one more rocket to deal with, and we're going to use Earthquake against this Houndoom, just because I had a feeling we were going to get burnt there. Call it intuition, call it something. I just knew that the RNG wanted to stick the knife in again. It's been very, very mean to us over the last little section of this game. I'm hoping that that is the last bad RNG we have, but I said that earlier, didn't I? Let's go and grab the radio card now. It's going to be 1, 2, 1 and 2. That will get us the radio card. It means we can get past the other Snorlax we'll be seeing in this challenge. Do we have a full heal? Yes, we do. That will be our way of dealing with the burn at the moment. And we'll head straight into Blackthorn City, where we try and cross the volcanic lava, as opposed to that non-volcanic lava, I suppose. But no, we have to take on the gym trainers, unfortunately. There's no two ways about it. Gonna use Body Slam as and where we can as well. Try and preserve our return power points until we actually need them for some of the bulkier Pokemon, like this Seadra, for instance. We one-shot that, which is a very, very good start. Means we might actually be in with a very good time at Clare. It all depends on whether we can outspeed her Dragonair. If we can outspeed the Dragonair, I'll feel fairly confident. If we can't, then we might be up the creek without a paddle. We'll have to see. We'll get a good indication actually right about now with cool trainer Mike. He's got a Dragonair. Do we outspeed it? Yes, we do, but that could have been a Quick Claw proc. We're on 69 speed at the moment. We're going to use Return as much as we like now, because we're going to be getting one-shots here, there, and everywhere, so it won't matter too much. I am just going to very quickly, though, use a Super Potion, get us almost, but not quite, back up to full health, as we take Clare on. She's our final Jotonian leader. Leads with Dragonair. We outsped the first one. How about number 2? Starting to feel like it's a natural outspeed, you know. Get rid of all 3. That is what we like to see. And we're on to the Kingdra. We'll use a tactical Earthquake. Didn't matter. She's got to recharge. Level 44 acquired, and we have defeated Clare. We don't have her badge yet, though, because we've got to rush in to the Dragon's Den. For that, we'll stick on another Super Repel. And we get to take on everyone's favourite nasty, tiny little man. It's Darren. He's got a Dragonair. It knows Surf. We ruin his day, and we feel very good about ruining his day as well. 1 Max Elixir acquired, 1 Whirlpool successfully crossed. Let's get ourselves in to the Dragon Shrine. Much like we did with the radio tower, it's 11212. That means we have answered the survey correctly, and Claire will enter into the den and finally give us that badge. Always happy with sub-hour Claire, even happier with sub-50-minute Claire. This is sub-45-minute Claire with 43 minutes and 26 seconds on the timer. Let's get out of here. And you know what? I think we will do a quick PP heal today before heading leaguewards. We'll just use the rental Abra. We end up back in Goldenrod. Don't particularly want to come back here again. We'll use the air balloon now and we'll start making our way east into another region. Of course, we've already been here before, courtesy of our housekeeping a little bit earlier on. Oh dear, Megan got us, because I cannot do movements at true 4x speed. This is what I'm learning. I really just need to spend an hour or so after this challenge learning how to control this very, very nippy player. Kind of been a little bit reluctant to get on the bike as well because of how fast we're going. We're going to take on a couple of optional extras on our route up to the league. By the way, I like taking on this Psychic. He's a very, very easy battle. I also like taking on the cool trainer just here. Is this Rena? I have a feeling this is Rena. Yes, it is Rena. Terrible with names, but she is memorable for some reason. She's a double Starmie Nidoqueen, a very nice and simple battle. And I am going to take on Mr. Espeon Man as well today. I think he's going to be a good indication of how we'll do against the upcoming Pestion. Mostly to do with how fast we are, comparatively speaking. But we're holding the Quick Claw, so that might actually be fairly meaningless. I should memorise some speed stats, but that takes brain power that I just don't have. We got past Inevitable Joyce this time. However, we did get caught by Jake. He's not a bad trainer to face, though. He'll get us up to a level 46, and we outspeed both of his Pokemon. And now we do have to take on Big Beth here. No two ways about it. We've got no choice but to take her on and her Rapidash. It uses agility. No real need. We've got a Snorlax love. We're slow as anything. And with that, we're into Victory Road. We are now going to bring our max repels up to the top, and apparently we still had a repel going. It's because I didn't do the loop-de-loop for the extra max elixir. I thought we wouldn't need it, but that means my repel steps were slightly out of sync. We did end up selling the earlier HP up, so we'll pick up our backup HP up and we'll engage the rival in one last battle. He's going to lead with Sneasel. Screech fails, so he's off to a bad start, isn't he? Wing attack, no confusion, I'll take that. And we are on to Magneton. We'll use Earthquake, it's quad super effective, it goes away. We'll continue the Earthquaking waves against the Haunter, and this time we outspeed it so it doesn't get a chance to say naughty words. We'll one-shot the Kadabra, and then it's going to be a two-shot on the Feraligatr. He uses Rage, that's all we care about. We get through. And now we can enter into the Pokemon League. We'll do a very quick heal whether we need to or not. And we'll procure 4 fine full restores from the Pokemart. Let's now park ourselves here. I will manually stop the timer so that we can take a look at our stats and make some predictions. We are level 47 with 234 HP, holding the Quick Claw with Return at 101 power. Earthquake, Belly Drum, and Body Slam. We have 142 in attack, 95 in defense, 94 in special attack, 137 in special defense, but just 68 in speed. And I think that speed stat is going to make or break this league. If we get lucky, if we outspeed where we need to, we'll be in for a very easy time of it. If we get statused, either via confusion, paralysis, maybe a burn here or there, maybe a flinch, then it could be a nasty league. We shall have to see. It's probably certain that we're getting sub-hour league, unless some absolute ridiculousness happens, but everything else is up for debate. We've definitely got the opportunity here to go resetless through the league, so let us now try. And the first stage to getting through the Elite Four is taking on Will. He's our first league member, a Psychic type specialist, going to lead with Xatu. Xatu goes for Psychic, we're not going to complain, we one-shot it away. Out comes Jinx, she doesn't go for Lovely Kiss, so we can get rid of her as well. And up third is Executor. We do a lot of damage as it hits us with Psychic, and we're going to keep on using Return against the Slowbro. Goes for Amnesia, I think it's all over barring the singing now for Will. Doesn't even bother to confuse us, hits us with Psychic, we grow to 48, and we get through Will in 47-29. Now, for Koga, because we're at a fairly clean level, I'm going to use our rare candies now. That will get us all the way up to level 53, and we'll take Koga on. He is our second league member today. He is a poison type specialist, leads with Ariados. We one-shot the Ariados, out comes the Venomoth, we one-shot that as well. And up next is going to be Fortress. We'll use Belly Drum, get ourselves down to 132 HP, and we accidentally misclicked there. Let me press the correct button. We use Return, it goes down in 1. We'll return away the Muck as well, and that just leaves Crobat. He uses Double Team, but that's meaningless. We knock it out in a single hit, and we get ourselves through Koga. Up third is going to be Bruno. We'll use a quick full restore, and we'll take him on. Fighting type specialist this time, going to lead with Hitmontop. We use Return, it's a one-shot, we knew that anyway. Hitmonlee is next, high jump kick hits. Does a fair amount of damage, but we're not that worried at the moment. Take guaranteed damage from Muck Punch. We will go and face the Machamp next. Return does a lot, in fact it one-shots, and that just leaves Onyx left to go. We Earthquake it away, and we get ourselves through Bruno first try. Now we have Karen. She could throw a bit of a spanner in the works. We're going to hold on to the Bitterberry, and we will also use a HP up. Try and force that Confuse Ray out of her. She's a Dark type specialist. She's going to lead with Umbreon. We're going to use Belly Drum against the Umbreon and hope that it does go for even better. Went for Sand Attack. We'll use Return now, and we'll one-shot. The Sand Attack failed, so we don't need to worry too much. We outspeed the Vileplume. It goes down in 1. We'll use Earthquake on the Gengar as it swears at us, but hopefully that will be the only tricky part of this battle. We get through the Murkrow. Houndoom comes out. We outspeed because it was going for Roar, I think, and we do defeat Karen first try. Quick full restore, and we can now get ready for Lance. Swap to the Peruscure Berry for Lance. Let's see how Lance goes. Go one of two ways. This is the battle I've been worried about. Took a couple of moments to think about how I want to play this. We get through Gyarados, and we are on to the first Dragonite. Thunder Wave has missed. That's a very good start. Hyper Beam has missed as well. That's even better. On to Dragonite number 2. Please paralyze it. Hyper Beam, we can tank one of those. 209 for the Aerodactyl. We'll take a Wing Attack. Once again, we're trying to get the paralysis off, and it's just not happening at the moment. Please paralyze something, or crit. We can take a crit. Outrage is not enough to KO. We've paralyzed the Dragonite, we're through. First try Lance. Wasn't a clean Lance, but it was a smooth Lance, and that's all we care about. First try, we are getting 50-49 for the Lance split. That means our final Hall of Fame time for this challenge is going to be 51 minutes and 5 seconds. That is not bad at all, considering we've only got 30 in speed. We have raced through this challenge. Should we take a look at the midpoint leaderboard? And at the midpoint juncture of this challenge, we are in 4th place, just behind Weezing and just ahead of Furret there. This is, of course, just the 4 moves leaderboard, and we have moved Arcanine on to page number 2. If we take a look at our overall Crystal leaderboard, we are in a very, very respectable 12th place, in between Lucario and Furret there. I think that is a really, really fast time for such a slow Pokemon. Keep your eye out on the leaderboard for the other SNORLAX challenge we have done. It will not be anywhere near as fast. Of course, it isn't a like-for-like comparison. I say that every time with 4 moves. We do start off with 4 very, very strong moves. So this is a Pokemon at its best possible potential, as opposed to the Pokemon learning its way through the learn set in a more natural setting. But yeah, we have definitely made up an awful lot of time there, and we're getting closer and closer to our 200th Crystal video, goodness me. This is only half the story though. We do still have another 8 gym badges plus the red fight left to come. So I'll tell you what, you better dare not go anywhere, because Kanto is next. And now, as always, we're rejoining the action here in Vermilion City, where the first thing we'll do in Kanto is grab a rare candy, this time from the chairman of the Pokemon fan club. And that's safely tucked away in our bag for another challenge. Let's get on with beating up some Kantonian leaders. We're going to start here in Vermilion City with Lieutenant Surge. Makes absolutely no difference if we take him on now or later. We're not going to outspeed any of his faster Pokemon, so we might as well take him on while we're in the neighbourhood. Going to stick on another Cure Berry just to be safe, and we will now engage him in battle. Surge is our first Kantonian leader. He leads with Raichu. There's the Thunder Wave that we were expecting. We one-shot the Raichu onto the Electrode. We're going to have to roll the dice here through the double team, unfortunately. He's going to send out Magneton next. We'll Earthquake it away, get rid of it in one hit. Here comes Electrode number 2. We win the coin toss on the double team this time, and that just means Electabuzz is left. He goes for Light Screen for no real reason. That gives us a very easy end to the battle. 53-34 for Lieutenant Surge. Now that means we can start heading up north, and we will head into our next gym. The next gym is going to be Sabrina's Psychic type gym. I've still not updated those splits. I keep remembering a little bit later on, it doesn't matter in this one, but I've not updated the gym order. She leads with Espeon. It goes for Psychic instead of Reflect. It's about as well as this could go. Mr. Mine's Barrier means it's going to be a 2-shot, but that doesn't mean anything really. Here comes Alakazam. There's the Reflect. She is healing looping now though, and I think it's still a range just like that. And we do get through Sabrina. Marsh Badge acquired in 54-21. Let's get out of here now, and we will do a very quick fly back to Saffron. Dip our head in the Pokemon Center, set our TP spot for after Janine, and we'll go into Celadon. Grab the leftovers. Don't think we need the PP up on this particular occasion, so instead it's into our third Kantonian gym. Now, I do just want to point out, I had a comment saying they want me to bring back the skip ahead to this time for Blue. I can't do that anymore. This voiceover is done as I am playing, so I don't know when the Blue fight is going to be. And to be honest, I'd like it if you stuck around for the Kanto section. It's not that long, and I do talk about some interesting things from time to time, and you never know. We might end up being very unlucky against this Paris. It could have one-shot us, maybe, in some kind of weird alternate universe, but there is still peril here, honest. I promise there's some kind of peril, I'm just not sure what that peril is or what the definition of peril is. Let's take on Erica, Grass-type specialist, gym leader number 3 here in Kanto. Leads with Tangela. We one-shot it. If we one-shot Tangela, I think we're in with a good shout of one-shotting most things. Leech Seed's annoying there more than anything else. We'll get rid of the Victory Bell in one. Here comes Bellossom. There goes Bellossom. Very, very simple. Erica is down, getting the Rainbow Badge in 55-47. Let us get out of here. We'll get on the bike and we'll take a quick trip down Cycling Road. What are we doing down Cycling Road? We're going as fast as we can so that we can go into our next gym. Birdkeeper Bob is our surrogate gym trader here. He is leading with an Octowl, and that's also his only Pokemon because he doesn't like catching Pokemon. And that brings us in to Janine's gym. She is Kantonian leader number 4. She leads with Crobat. Crobat screams bloody murder at us, and that's all it gets to do. Weezing's next. We will get rid of it with Return. We've got just enough returns for all of her Pokemon. We've even got one left as a little extra in case we need it, but we don't. She doesn't even bother wasting her money today with the Venomoth. Janine is defeated, soul badge acquired in 56:43. Now, we're going to slow down the pace of the gym badges because we've got a little bit of storyline to contend with next. What am I doing? I should be rent-elaborating here to get ourselves back to Saffron. We'll take the Pokemon Center heal here so that we restore both our HP and our PP. If we were restoring just one, it would probably be better to do a bag heal, but I think because we're restoring both, a Pokemon Center heal is the way to go. We've got just the one mandatory trainer between us and Rock Tunnel. It's Hiker Jimothy with his Machamp. And now I'll get through this in the dark and we'll meet on the other side. I didn't do it on camera and I had a really smooth Rock Tunnel for the first time in a very long time. Maybe getting rid of the lag does help in some places. Maybe my timings for Rock Tunnel are back. You can see actually how smooth that Rock Tunnel was by where the repel ran out. Very, very late running out repel there, and that does mean we can now fly back to Saffron City. We'll take the left-hand route up and through the gate, because we're about to enter into Cerulean City. If I didn't mess up my bag there, that would be ever so slightly quicker than doing the movement around. We do need to chat with the Rocket, and now it's time for everybody's favourite, a Nugget Bridge. And in this one, I want to let you know I've been doing a fair amount of stuff over on Twitch and my second channel. Because yes, I think I'm important enough to have a second channel here on YouTube. So, Squidgy Squared is the second channel. It's for mostly non-Pokemon related stuff. It's also where every so often I do an in-depth deep dive tutorial on how to hack Pokemon Crystal. There's some very interesting stuff on there, if I do say so myself. So if you can't get enough of me over here, and you want to see some stuff that isn't Pokemon Challenge Run related, that is the place to go. Been doing a little bit of shiny hunting in Let's Go. I've been playing some retro games. I've been having an awful lot of fun. And I've also started doing another ROM hack. I am hacking the heck out of the Sega Master System version of Lemmings. So if you like puzzles, if you like challenges, then I am pretty positive you will like your time over there as well. If I remember, I will put a link in either the description or a pinned comment telling you exactly where you need to go to subscribe to the extra channels. And unlike on here, there should be no adverts I play at all over on the extra channel because I am very, very far off from monetization on that channel. And to be fair, I don't think I will monetize it often in the future if I do ever end up having two channels with those number of viewers. Because to be fair, I think it's a little bit greedy then, at least for me doing that at that point. Never say never though. If that channel takes off, then I might consider it. Because it means I could then invest a little bit more time into the challenges here as well, without feeling the pressure and the need to do 3 challenges a week. Let us now take on Misty. She's our next gym leader. She's a water type specialist and she's also getting completely bodied by us. Starmie's about the only Pokemon that was able to hit us at all there, and we do obtain Misty's badge, the Cascade badge, in 1 hour and 36 seconds. Remember the machine parts, so we're doing better than some other challenges. Apologies, my tummy is off on wood again, like it was at the very start of this challenge. We'll stick on a max repel and we'll make our way towards the power plant once more. Have a little smooch there with the guard because we accidentally bumped into him. We'll get ourselves Zap Cannon. Shame we can't learn it. I think Zap Cannon would be a lot of fun in this challenge actually. We now need to get ourselves back to Lavender Town to retrieve the X-Men card so that we can get through the roadblock Snorlax. We've been running a Snorlax this entire time, and it's about to be Snorlaxception. Let's tune it to the right radio channel. We'll get in front of it, and we say, "Hello, Snorlax. We're 10 levels higher than you, so we're running away because we're wimps." Out the other side, let us now get into Pewter City, where we have another gym waiting for us. This is going to be Brock's Rock-type gym. He's got one gym trainer, Camper Jerry, standing in for Camperleon from the Kanto games there. And we'll now take on Brock. He is going to be our next gym leader. He is a Rock-type specialist, leads with Graveler. We'll Belly Drum, and we'll Earthquake, and we shall sweep. Or at least that is the plan. We're holding off on the leftovers until the very last moment here as well. I don't think we're going to need them until much later on. We might not even have needed to belly drum here. But I had a feeling we'd outspeed everything, so it would be absolutely fine. There's Brock defeated, Boulder Badge acquired in 1:02:23. We now must leave Pewter City, say hello and goodbye to 3 Drill en route, and we'll start making our way south towards our penultimate gym. In Viridian City, we'll stick on a Max Repel, we'll air balloon over to Viridian, and today we are actually going to take the hill in the Pokemon Center because we did belly drum for Brock. Down Route 1 we go, through Pallet Town, we say hello to Red's mum, we wave at her window, onto the remains of Cinnabar Island, have a little chat with Blue, who's moping about a volcano that clearly has plugged itself back up, looking at that. And with that, we've only got one more gym leader to go before we face Blue, and that is Blaine, Fire-type Specialist. He's going to lead with Magcargo. And you know what that means? An Earthquake to the face. One shot on the Magcargo. We'll use another Earthquake on the Bumhead Fire Duck, guarantee it goes down in one. And then we get Fire Blasted by the Rapidash, which is why I decided to use Earthquake again. Because you never know, we could have ended up being burnt there. Didn't happen, but I did want to be safe. We'll get ourselves back to Viridian City now. We will heal in the Pokemon Center. And we will take on our final gym leader of the challenge. This is Blue. He's a mixed-type specialist, and he's going to lead with Gyarados. Not Gyarados, Pidgeot. Where did I get Gyarados from? We'll belly drum. Should have held on to the Quick Claw, really. In fact, not counting that as a reset, we're going to hold on to the Quick Claw. Be sensible about this. Here's Blue. Leads with Pidgeot. Definitely not Gyarados. 100% not Gyarados. Same opening as before. And now we shall return away the Pidgeot. You can see we get our first Quick Claw proc. Alakazam is next. Psychic hits us. And we take it out in one. Here comes Rhydon. We'll use Return. And we one-shot it. Goodness me. Here's a Gyarados. Here's a Quick Claw. There's a Gyarados. We have defeated it in one hit. We do the same on the Executor, and that will just leave Arcanine left to go. Another Quick Claw, bloody hell. I think that non-reset was quicker than taking the battle as it was. First try Blue, very, very quick battle. Let's get ourselves over to Pallet Town. Hey, Professor Oak, do you like my bear? Yes, I know, I've only caught one Pokemon. What are you going to do about it? It's a bear. Of course, I'm only going to have one Pokemon if I have a bear. Let's get ourselves back up to full health. We will use an elixir, and we'll get back to Viridian City. In fact, we should use a super repel at the same time, and we can be on our merry way towards Silver Cave now. I swear, did you not see me use a super repel? There, definitely used a super repel this time. Get through the hardest ledge in the game, and we'll make our way into Silver Cave. Of course, there is one more rare candy we're going to pick up. That's why we dip into the Pokemon Center there. The rare candy lives just over here. And then we will cycle back to Silver Cave, use the air balloon once more. And now I'm going to make my way through the cave. I'll also plonk in the rare candies that we've got. And I'll see you on the other side. There we go. We are through the other side. And we have made it to Red. Now, for the red battle, we are going to swap to the leftovers, and we'll see how this goes. He's the final challenge of the challenge, and he leads with Pikachu. We're going to use Belly Drum, and then we'll try to sweep. Charm has dropped us to only +4 attack as opposed to +6, but we're still at a very high attack value. Espeon goes down in one. It uses Psychic. That's probably about the best we could hope for there. Red Snorlax goes down in a single hit as well. And up next is Venusaur. It takes in Sunlight. We one-shot. And we've got Charizard after that. Flamethrower hits, crits, and burns. You absolute nasty piece of work. I tell you what, how many times have we been burnt recently? by Flamethrower. It's been absolutely ludicrous, hasn't it? Pikachu goes for the double thunder there. It's all going wrong now. On to the Espeon we go, and we get knocked out. Oh. Are we going to be up the creek without a paddle for a bit now, I wonder? We crit the Pikachu there. That's not what I was after, really. We'll do that there instead. Return away the Espeon. We knock it out in one regardless. Here comes Red Snorlax. Please still one shot. Amnesia's fine. We can deal with Amnesia. Here comes Venusaur. It takes in Sunlight. We are able to one-shot it away. We're back on to the Zard. The reflectors faded. No crit, no burn this time. We crit him this time instead. Blastoise is next. Surf hits for a fair amount of damage. But it is all over for Red in 108.19. Oh, I'm glad that one's over. Very annoyed that we got the reset there at Red. I think if we hadn't have been burnt, we would have got through about a minute quicker. But still, 108.19 is a very, very respectable time. By the way, I don't think I've mentioned this. We go for the time where it says Trainer Red was defeated and not the time for the auto splitter. So it is 108.19. Let's see where that puts us on our leaderboard. I tell you what, it feels good to have a smooth Red fight after some of the disasters we've had lately. Second place for Snorlax, behind Scyther, who's in a league of its own, but ahead of Tentacruel. That does mean that Heracross is now heading up page 2, with Sunflora there at the very bottom of the second page. Also, things to note that Octillery has now dropped off the podium, and Rapidash is in the drop zone. If we take a look at the All Crystal leaderboard, we haven't quite made it on to page 1. We're in, unlucky for some, a 13th place, in between Tentacruel there and Flamigo's challenge from a couple of years ago. I'm happy with that one. I think we did a very, very good challenge. We could have had Resetless if Red had played ball, but that wasn't meant to be on the day. And we still had a very good time. You can see 128.15 was our previous Red time with Snorlax. Like I mentioned, not a like-for-like comparison, but still saving 20 minutes on the original challenge time. With that, though, we're done for another challenge. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. I've had a lot of fun. If you have, make sure to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to see the videos a little bit early, you can always join the channel membership and become a HM friend. But until next time, I'll say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.